Look, I'm sorry, but I just have to talk about the show, okay? If I don't know. I'm probably gonna destroy the universe or something. So, I guess since I uploaded an episode 1, I guess it's only fair that I upload an episode 2, and an episode 3, and so on. I'm probably gonna talk about this entire series until it's finished. With that all out of the way, time to explain episode 2 in the dumbest way possible. We start off episode 2 with a quick flashback, and we see a butler version of N. And then we see a bunch of black silhouettes. This is what humans look like in the show. While N is walking, he accidentally bumps into a maid version of V. They touch hands and there's a little spark. I know damn well shippers had a field day with this singular moment. N is then kicked over by Jay, and we see a little girl bring in another drone. This is Tessa and this is Sin. They are more important later in the show. N wakes up back in the present and falls from the roof. Now, one thing that's pretty obvious is the show had a massive visual upgrade from the pilot. Everything just looks better. And it's probably because they had a 1-year gap between the pilot and the second episode. Anyways, we then see Uzi and V inside the landing pod, and Uzi breaks a mirror just by looking at it. Not even the mirror wants to see her emo ass. N climbs back into the pod, and we learn that he was the pilot for the ship.
I was the pilot? That's awesome! I crashed and ruined everything.
N starts to ask Uzi if it really is necessary to travel to Earth and kill all humans. And I can answer that question right now and say yes, I think it is. V then slightly threatens Uzi and starts saying that her kind isn't completely innocent. I'm sensing a little racism. We're back at the bunker and we see the hole that was made when N flew out in the first episode. This guy tells this other guy named Frank to fix the hole, and bro, this guy just gets disrespected for like the 2 minutes of screen time he has. Like, come on. Bro gets a tiny ass ladder and gets left in the dark, and then dies alone. Put some respect on my man's name. We then start hearing a faint heartbeat, which is also the name of this episode. Frank walks over to the sound, and bro, you could hear the crunch of like a rib cage as it beats. Like, bro, just listen to this shit. It's disgusting and I love it. A heart then climbs out and Frank just dies, but a bunch of symbols are burned into the walls. We're then brought to a parent-teacher conference where the teacher is talking to Khan about Uzi's behavior. He says that Uzi is basically the weird kid. And I'm not talking about like the weird kid that's like quiet and really doesn't bother anyone. No, I'm talking about the weird kid. She's deadass standing on desks and taking other people's sentience. Shit, I would be scared of this kid if she was in my school. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if she brings a gun. Oh wait, she already has. Khan admits that he might be a shitty dad. I wonder where he got that from. We're outside and Uzi is calling herself a god, which probably pissed off some people. Thad pulls up and gives Uzi back her railgun. Then he explains that people are starting to go missing and that Jay's body is gone too. We're then shown a dark room with a vending machine, and a guy that walks past notices Frank just standing there. Except it's not Frank, it's a hologram. It then tells the other guy to come over to him, and this dumbass just walks over. And bro, he literally says, and I quote, "Join you, standing eerily still over there in suspiciously low resolution." I'm sorry, but this dumb f*** deserved to die. N flew the two back to the bunker, and the guy is gonna let Uzi and Thad back in, but not N. So bro just gives him one of those like cards that your younger siblings would make, and that's enough to let him in. We're back at the murder scene where everyone is trying to figure out what happened. This girl comes over to talk with Liam Vickers, and he asks where Khan is, and she said that he's at a parent-teacher conference, and they just both say it's cringe. Is child neglect just like a normal thing in this civilization? Uzi, Ed, and Thad walk past behind them, and we learn that basically everyone and everything in that room is a hologram. A drop of oil falls on this girl's hand, and she already knows she's dead. We cut back to the parent-teacher conference, and we're shown these two. Their names are Lizzie and Doll. Lizzie asks Doll where her parents are, and we learn that she is the foreign exchange student, and a f***ing communist.
Мёртвые. Я смотрела, как они умирали.
We see some person that looks like Lizzie through the door, and it's pretty obvious this is not Lizzie, and this is a hologram. We come back to N, Uzi, and Thad, trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Thad tells them to come over to him, and they find the symbol that was burned into the wall. It says Absolute Solver. Now, this is basically what the plot of the entire show is just based around. And there were even some slight sneak peeks in the pilot. And basically, this Absolute Solver is just God mode. And is also possibly the reason why N was able to grow his head back as well. While Uzi was trying to piece together the information, a hand crawls out of the dark and grabs Thad, and then fires a rocket in the general direction. I know damn well this was your wallpaper for a bit, wasn't it? The hand starts dragging Thad away, and it's severed by a ninja star that N threw. N and Uzi are hit back, and Thad is just taken away. N pulls out some chainsaws, and they run after the monster. We then see a hologram version of Thad trying to lure them closer. But because they are the main characters, and Uzi actually does have the power of plot armor, they don't fall for it. N throws the ninja star, and Uzi kicks it for whatever reason. I don't know how that works, but okay. The hologram is taken down, and the real Thad is set free. Then this monster thing actually presents itself.
We're busy then anyway, so whatever. So lame.
So this giant creature thing that sounds like a dollar store version of GLaDOS is kind of what the Absolute Solver looks like, and this version is designed to collect more matter so that way it can rebuild Jay's body. It then starts taunting Uzi by showing a hologram of her mom, and N just disappears, which is kind of a dick move. Eldritch J then brings down Khan, and then rips him in half.
Hey! Goodbye, Dad.
What?
N then decides to come back and start firing missiles. N tells Uzi to give him the gun because she's just in shock after watching her dad die. But when she does give him the gun, we learn that wasn't the real N, and Uzi is just hit back and the railgun is destroyed. Then the real N decides to come back at the most convenient time and cuts down the GLaDOS looking things and gets Uzi away before the railgun explodes. After the dust settles, we see the lower half of Khan's body as a projection, and so that means the guy with the door fetish is still alive. GLaDOS disappears and turns into a black hole. The little heart thing starts running all over the place, and N quickly kills it, and it also turns into a black hole. N tries to grab Uzi and get her out of here, but she says this.
What are you things?
Jesus Christ, there doesn't need to be robot racism. If you want to see something with racism and robots, go watch a Transformers movie.
Why don't you get a haircut with your bitch ass?
N leaves and a bunch of people start running into the room, including the real Khan. They all see Uzi, and she just looks guilty as here. You cannot lie. So her only option is just to go up to her dad and hug him. And probably for once in his life, he actually doesn't sell and hugs her back. We cut the doll sitting in the classroom all alone, while a robot cockroach crawls up her leg. We then cut back to the classroom before it was cut off, and we see what actually happened when Lizzie went to open the door. Before she did, Doll used some superpower type shit to prevent her from doing it. Doll then kills the cockroach by looking at it, and we see that she's holding a picture of V. We cut to N and V in the pod, and N is crying in the corner, and V notices that the chain is broken. We end the second episode with Uzi just looking at the ceiling trying to figure out what the hell is going on. So what I learned from this episode is that V and Uzi are racist, N is a guilty asshole, and Liam Vickers has a snake fetish. Well shit. That makes a pretty good episode. If you did enjoy the video, please do consider leaving a like and subscribing. Sorry this video seems like it's taken a while to come out. I wanted to upload this sooner, but school has just been absolutely sucking the life out of me. But you know what they say, the grind never stops. Anyways, see you in the next one.